Harry half-royal. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Harry once again finds that as a consequence of his wife's behaviour, he ends up with a shitty end of the stick. This is invariably the case, particularly when you're saddled as the intimate partner primary source to a narcissist. This time, it's in relation to the role that he seems to be trying to carve out, and he's meeting considerable resistance. According to Jennifer Newton writing in the Mirror, Prince Harry won't be accepted as a part-time royal, or Harry half-royal, by King Charles or Prince William, a royal expert has warned. King Charles won't accept that because this half-in, half-out is not seen as acceptable by him because it's not showing full commitment to the royal family, which therefore in turn is a threat to his control, and thus he rejects it. In order to emphasise how this is not acceptable, he will bring up the past by making reference to his mother's observations about this when Harry was trying to cut a deal of being half in, half out prior to Megxit. William won't accept this state of affairs because, as a normal, he sees it as, again, offending the royal family, not in terms of control, but simply, this isn't the way that we do things. You're either committed to the royal family or you're not. We don't have a problem if you don't want to be part of it, but you can't pick and choose as to when you dip in and dip out of it. That's not fair, it's not decent. And William has a very keen sense of fairness. Furthermore, his views will also be tainted as a consequence of Harry's conduct and that of his wife, whereby that he would be less amenable to giving him some latitude in this regard because of the way that they behaved. If he had kept himself quiet and just got on with things overseas, they perhaps would have been happier about welcoming him back to certain things because he's not caused trouble. But the fact is, they are not going to countenance him being Harry half-royal because, from Prince Charles' perspective, or rather from King Charles's perspective, it threatens his sense of control. For William, it's not the done thing, and he's still displeased at the way that Harry has behaved previously. Both the Duke and Duke of Sussex and his wife, Harry's wife, decided to sensationally quit royal duties in 2020, the article tells us, and have since moved to the United States to carve out a new life. It has been reported that Harry and Harry's wife previously wanted a half-in, half-out role with the royals, but this was vetoed by the late Queen. Naturally, Harry's wife would want this because as a narcissist, she wants the best of both worlds. She's like that weather vane in a storm, facing all ways at once. She wants to be able to go and do her own thing when it suits her, but then to be able to rely upon the kudos and cachet that comes with the royal family as and when it suits her. She wants the best of both worlds, and doesn't see anything wrong with that. According to royal author Tom Quinn, the new monarch Charles and heir to the throne and Harry's older brother Prince William will also not tolerate a part-time role for the Sussexes. He told the Express, "The whole emphasis between King Charles and Prince William is that you cannot go against the late Queen's firm belief that you can't be a part-time royal," Mr. Quinn continued. "You can't hobnob with celebrities in America for 6 months and then come back here and pick and choose which events you want to be part of. I don't think Charles and William will agree to that simply because Elizabeth hated the idea. And as a consequence of you understanding the nature of narcissists and also normals, I've expanded on why that doesn't find favour with King Charles or with Prince William. It comes as Harry's relationship with Charles and William remains firmly rooted at rock bottom, and reconciliation is a long way off. Once again, a collateral consequence of his behaviour influenced by that of his wife. In a matter of weeks, Harry will be back in the UK to attend a charity awards ceremony, and will be in the country at the same time as his estranged father and brother. But despite this, the trio are not expected to meet up. Again, the reason being that King Charles will want to assert control by staying in a position of withdrawal, and William, having been expertly advised, knows that he needs to not only stay away from Harry's wife, but also his brother, because of the connection that he has to Harry's wife. Insiders confirmed neither the King nor William have plans to see Harry, while he has no intention of visiting them on his whistle-stop stay, which features an appearance at the Wellchild Awards on the eve of the first anniversary of the late Queen's death. And even though the poignant date could have proved to be the perfect time for the royals to start repairing relations, an insider has dismissed any hope of this. They said, while some may suggest it would be good order for the family to settle their differences, perhaps even in the late Queen's memory, things are a long way off. The last time Harry was with Charles and William was at the King's coronation on May the 6th. The brothers also joined their wives Kate and Harry's wife as they viewed flowers at Windsor Castle before the Queen's funeral. Meanwhile, another royal insider suggests the Duke of Sussex may take time to see his cousins, Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice. Harry is not understood to have spoken to his brother in months and has had little contact with his father. Sources claim there are no plans for a public event or get-together to mark the Queen's death, although members of the royal family have been to Balmoral for their summer holidays. The King and his wife Camilla are expected to mark the Queen's death privately at Balmoral, where she died, while William and Kate will be in Wales for public events. Harry has been Wellchild's patron for 15 years and regularly attends its annual awards ceremony, but is not expected to be joined by the Duchess of Sussex, see parts passim, who has been a guest at past events. Accordingly, Charles and William making it very clear that Harry cannot be half royal. He had his opportunity to stay within the royal family with all the benefits and privileges that came with that, but he turned it down because he was being led by the pecker overseas by his ambitious wife. Now, because he just thinks that he can, because he will act with a sense of entitlement at occasions, he believes that he could just pop back and join in at certain events as and when he sees fit. But that doesn't wash now with the remainder of the royal family. In order to maintain control over him and his wife, Charles says no, and William simply hasn't forgiven him for what he's done and knows that the best thing for him and his own family and for the royal family is to stay away from Harry and his poisonous wife. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.